Coming up in the GenGAMEcast, we give a point to EA, which is kind of rare for us. We talk about the Minecraft 1.3 update details.
It's the 2-year anniversary of the GenGAMEcast.
And we talk about Steam on Linux. Heads up, there's even faster zombies in the future. All that and more coming up in the GenGAMEcast. Hey, and welcome to the GenGAMEcast for Saturday, August 4th, 2012. It's our 2-year anniversary of the show, and I'm Trevor Mignani. Today, joining me on the podcast is...
Kevin O'Rourke.
Benny Gerard.
Gilbert Warner.
And this is the show where we talk about gaming news, gaming culture, anything gaming in general. So let's go ahead and kick it off with what are you playing? Gil, what have you been doing this past few weeks?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, trying to figure out some pistons and some redstone to make a hidden door.
Benny, what have you been up to?
Benny has taken up silent ventriloquism. He's very good at it.
All right, we'll come back to Benny. Kevin, what have you been up to?
I've been playing Halo Reach, and actually Halo 3.
Really?
You believe it or not, throwback.
Halo 3?
And you know that game is 5 years old? 5 years old now?
I would have never known.
2007.
It just seems like that game came out like last year.
Seems more like Halo Reach came out last year, but it was closer 2 years ago, which we actually talked about on the first podcast.
Yeah.
I talked about Halo Reach didn't come out yet.
Yeah, that is
just coming
true.
out, and we were so excited about it.
I know, everybody was so excited. Oh my god, it's gonna be so great. Oh my god. And then
it was good, but like it didn't last. So now we're ready to look forward to Halo 4.
Yeah, I think there's a genuine need to be hyped up about Halo 4.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a
It's
great
Halo
game.
4.
It's Halo Mofo 4.
Yeah.
So, is Benny back or is he like
Nah,
forever
he's
frozen?
like forever.
My camera still frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever
do
happened
me a
to
favor,
Robot
Benny.
Jones?
Do me a favor, Benny. Kill your video. Hopefully that'll free up some bandwidth so we can at least hear you. All right, that's good.
So we could just use solo for the entire podcast. So
yeah,
work.
that'll work.
So Betty, what have you been playing?
What have you been up to?
What
Benny?
am I playing?
This is the point where you say, "I've been playing."
What? Can I skip it? I don't have anything.
No.
I haven't been playing anything.
Benny, this is 2-year anniversary. You better get your crap together, man.
I,
All right, Benny played
well,
Minecraft. Let's go, Trevor.
All right, so I've been playing Super Mario 3D Land. I've been working on getting the rest of the secret levels done and getting all the coins, and it's proving to be an exercise in frustration.
Super Mario 3D Land?
Yeah, like
I never beat the special levels. That was where I drew the line.
Like you never tried them, or
no? I tried them. I just lost interest in the game.
How far did you get into them before you stopped?
Yeah, I hopped around worlds for a while, so I think I did like the first world and then the third, just to see what it was. So I'd say the third or maybe fourth world.
Okay, fair enough.
testing. Are we good?
All right, Benny. Do you want to try again?
Oh, I have an answer for the question this time, but I don't know if I should continue because I have no idea what's going on.
Well, we're still in the What Are You Playing segment.
There's still time.
All right, Benny. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to get you out of here.
I'll this crap because now you guys.
All right, so we're gonna.
And
move
Benny
on.
has been eliminated from the podcast. Let's keep going.
I hate doing that, but
Uh-oh, Gil froze too. He's looking ready to get eliminated too. That's trouble.
I'm not frozen. I'm not frozen.
All right, it's okay, but we'll try to get Benny back in when he gets his internet back and working. But it wouldn't be a GenGAMEcast if there weren't issues.
Giant Gil now, giant frozen Gil.
At least my video's not frozen for me.
At least your audio is not broken.
Oh, what?
Because we do release in audio and video formats now. It's
I
one
think-
thing we did add between.
I think the audio format might be better for this one.
All right, so let's move into this week in news.
Yes, let's do it.
I mean, obviously the big story coming out is EA's accusation against Zynga, basically saying, "Hey, you guys pretty much stole everything you did, and we're gonna do something about it." And to that, I want to give EA a high five for that. So good job, good on you, EA, for doing something right for once, for the right reason, or at least what you're saying is the right reason.
Or at
Well,
least
I
seeming
mean,
like the right reason.
to
Devil's
be
advocate,
to be
advocate,
fair,
go.
EA. I mean, maybe they didn't have a reason to, but EA didn't go after these guys, at least until they ripped off EA. I mean, I suppose they couldn't go after EA
Oh, yeah.
after them until then, but almost feels like one of those things where someone comes after Trevor, and I'm just like, whatever. And then they go after Kevin, and I'm like, whatever. Then they come after me, I'm like, whoa, 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 hey.
Yeah,
hey.
what's the big idea?
Yeah, you're stealing everything you did. So, but I mean, I guess legally they couldn't have, because I mean,
Yeah,
you
what
can't.
grounds would they have?
I suppose they can't go after Zynga and be like, "Hey, you stole all your other stuff." I mean, we didn't own it, but you stole it, so we're gonna go after you. I mean, legally you can't really do that, so you kind of had to, but still, it is nice that they're going after them.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they're doing it. I mean, like some of the things that they're claiming here is
I mean, Zynga's like
pretty-
at the lowest of the low right now. Did you see the numbers for their
oh man,
for the quarters?
they're awful right
Yeah.
now.
Just
I
like,
mean,
it's
look-
like the lowest point, and EA's like, yes.
You look at the the image here of the Sim social sequence. Looks frighteningly similar than to the Ville's sleep sequence. That's just one example. They have. You look at the PDF here. It's a 50-page document highlighting everything that they stole from EA, which mainly focuses around the Sim Social, but
That's a lot of stuff.
to
really
get
is.
50 pages is kind of a little obnoxious.
Yeah. And, I mean, what sucks is that, I mean, it's too bad things didn't go too well earlier, because this isn't the first time Zynga's stolen from someone. I can't remember what one of the games was called Dream Heights, something like that. But Zynga stole a game from another company.
Oh yeah, Tiny Tower.
Yeah, they were trying
Oh,
to.
yeah, I remember
they were
that.
trying
That was a
to.
big
They tried
mess.
to buy them at first, right? And then they decided, no, we're not going to sell to you. And then Zynga's like, oh, okay. And then they released their own version of the exact same game, and the other company
They
was
couldn't
just,
do anything because
Yeah,
they
they were
didn't
too
have the
small.
means to do it. They didn't have the legal department. They didn't have the money to do it.
yeah. I mean, even though it was clear, even though it was so clear that it was a complete ripoff of the other game that Zynga just stole, and legally the other company could have gone after them. They just didn't have the money. But now Zynga's bitten off more than they can chew. They've stolen from EA, and that's not going to go well for
You
them.
steal from EA not on one property but multiple properties. And you're getting yourself into trouble here. Look at this. I mean, yes. How many ways could you label them? But that is obnoxious. I mean,
I say
personally,
good for EA.
you know what? Yeah, for once, we're not going to bash EA on this one. We're gonna give them a pat on the back and say, you know what, we understand, and do your worst. Because if there's a company I hate more than EA, it's probably Zynga. I don't know, Kev. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. I have a few that I don't like. I don't know if I'd say that much, but we'll save that for another day while I dream up some people. I don't like Obsidian. I don't know. That's just one thing that I champion, the fact that I don't like Obsidian. But maybe not that much. I don't know. I don't like Zynga.
Zynga's pretty bad though.
Zynga basically ruins Facebook.
Yeah, they
everyone.
ruined Facebook for everyone, and they also took out my favorite non-Facebook game developer, that makes online games OMG Pop.
Yeah, and you know what? They bought him, and that is one of the main reasons why they
And
lost
that
so much
bubble
money.
popped.
Yes.
Oh,
it did.
see, now that was hilarious. I loved that. OMG Pop, because OMG Pop, the way I understand it, hadn't been too successful before then. You know, they kind of made some money, but not really.
Oh yeah,
And
their
then-
big hit was Draw Something.
Yep.
Actually,
Yeah.
it was Draw My Thing online,
it is so-
and I loved playing it.
Here's the thing. I never played the game, but I loved the whole situation. OMG Pop was like, oh, like I have to think they knew. They knew this was going to happen. They knew it wasn't going to last very long. That they had to get this thing sold if it was going to go. And so they sell it to Zynga. The second they sell to Zynga, popularity just drops off massively. Everyone stops playing, stops buying, and Zynga literally just bought nothing. And OMG Pop and their employees get a crap ton of money.
Yeah. pretty much.
And I absolutely loved that. You know,
Draw
because
Something was
OMG
one of the
Pop
most
was going to
popular
go
games.
anyway. It was either
Yeah,
sell to
easily.
Zynga or die because Draw Something wasn't going to last.
Well, I guess that's true. Everything does have its popularity maximization. I mean, look at everything. Not Call of Duty yet, but Guitar Hero.
Yeah. Did you say yeah?
Yes. It's gonna happen. It's gonna Guitar
happen.
Hero.
It's gonna happen. Maybe we'll see a free-to-play Call of Duty down the line. You never know. You never know.
All right. I mean, also too. I mean, you've got the Just Dance franchise, which, in my opinion, that is the ultimate shark jumping franchise now. With
Yeah.
all the spin-offs they're doing,
yeah,
that
yeah.
series is
Just
primed
Dance
to die.
Kids 2. I saw Just Dance Kids 2
Yeah.
in GameStop.
Well, I mean,
Seriously?
you look at the entire series. You have Just Dance 1 through 4, the Kids series,
Yeah.
the Greatest Hits. Then you have Just Dance
It's almost like,
Disney coming out.
What is it? Now that's what you call music?
Yeah.
They're up to like 55.
It's obnoxious. It's insane.
It's just like Guitar Hero was.
But-
It seems to be the music genre that seems
Yeah.
to play itself out.
Yeah.
It's got that
So,
5 minutes of
so
fame.
ironic.
Yeah, really. Oh, really, that's what it is. It's the 5 minutes of fame, and then you get like 40 Guitar Hero games deep, and you don't know what to do with yourself.
Hey man,
There's
at
the
that point,
podcast
at
title.
that point, you're in too deep. All you can do is just keep
40
going
games
and hope
too
there's a light at the end of that tunnel.
And hope it's not a train. All right, we're gonna move on to talking about MMOs, but first we want to talk about our Minecraft server. It is up. It works. It's not quite on 1.3 yet, but that'll be soon. As soon as the stable build comes out. But check out mc.gengame.net. Play Minecraft with us. Have some fun. Sandbox. We're shooting for like September to get it started. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too because I haven't written out the show plan for it, so it's gonna be really interesting what I come up with.
Well, that's both interesting and very scary at the same time.
Yes. When I'm the executive producer, things are sure to happen on
On the fly?
It's gonna happen on the fly. Like tonight's episode
All right,
was supposed to
everybody,
be
we're
shot
going to
out.
be doing the sandbox. And all right, let's go.
Like this episode was supposed to be shot outside, but we're like, you know what? It's too humid outside.
It's
Forget
way
this.
too hot.
It's like
Way
it's
too
like
hot.
90% humidity outside. I walked outside. I'm like, oh man, this would not have been good.
Run
But-
your computer out there, you'll probably fry it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
well,
mosquitoes will be biting Gil.
all right.
We're going to talk about MMOs now,
Yes, we are.
and I have a posing question for everyone watching right now. Are MMOs a dying thing?
Yes.
Okay, well, Trevor has his answer. We're going to present the evidence. We're going to let everyone make up their own mind.
All right.
I'm just
So
saying-
that means chat. You're going to be ready, and you want to be in chat with the answers yes or no. For
Okay.
are MMOs dying?
Within the last week, we've had announcement that SWTOR is losing numbers and is going free to play this fall. Within like a day, Blizzard announced that it lost 1.2 million subscribers
It's insane.
recently.
I just can't believe
Which
that many.
which adds on to the previous months. They've just been losing numbers frequently.
I mean,
they-
what about all the people that actually like prepaid an entire year with Diablo 3?
And they're still losing numbers. I don't know how
Yeah.
that happened. But they try to hide that by saying, "Oh, Diablo 3 has been bought by 10 million people."
Yeah.
But don't worry about WoW numbers. It's no big deal.
But how many people are still playing D3?
Not many.
I can't imagine it being too many.
I'm not.
I'm
Yeah, we'll come back to it in a year. We'll power through it.
Yeah, no, we will. Oh, well,
My-
I've
my
already
whole-
beaten
my whole
it
thing
20
is-
times to the sun.
Oh
but...
man, I only played it once.
Really?
Yeah,
I've beaten it like a bajillion times.
Wow,
A
Are you still
bajillion,
playing
too.
it,
That's a
Kevin?
lot.
that's a lot, man.
That's a lot.
A
That's
bajillion?
Like 1 bajillion.
Alright, so continue,
hold
Benny.
on, Benny. What were you saying?
It can't be that these are bad games. And some could argue why.
Star Wars Galaxies got shut down. You
fun.
must be pretty upset about that, Han.
Shut up. If you look at Diablo 3, not many people are playing it, but it sold very well. So did the Old Republic when it launched. Everyone's saying it's the fastest growing MMO to date. It's also the fastest declining. Is it a bad game, or is it just nobody wants to play MMOs anymore? And one could also argue that a new era of free-to-play is coming. I mean,
It's
right now,
here.
the most played game in America right now, not America, the world, is League of Legends.
That is a sad fact that it's not Call of Duty.
I'm almost happy that it's something that takes more skill. But
Hang on, I'm sorry, Benny, but
Roll
this
face.
really doesn't take a lot of skill.
Hey, you switched for all the shots. And you started the task manager?
Impressive.
That's very good. You control alt deleted with a roll face.
Mm-hmm.
There's a GIF right there.
I didn't say it take a lot more skill. I said take some skill. No, because some people argue Call of Duty. It's all about just having the most OP gun and killing.
I'm sorry, wait,
everyone.
what in the hell was that noise?
That was a phone vibrating.
Oh,
For those of you who probably didn't hear that
Yeah,
sound, it
no, I
sounded like
didn't know
somebody
what
just
that
let a
was.
wet one rip right on the table.
I was like,
Put
what
your
the
phone
hell
away. I'm
was
having
that?
my moment of.
Okay, it's the iPhone.
But anyway,
Let Benny have his moment.
I'm talking and you guys are.
I'm sorry, Benny. Go on.
I know. No, I just want to know what everyone thinks. It's just nobody wants to play MMOs anymore, or it's just people are just got sick of WoW and like, well, everything else is just a WoW, quote unquote WoW clone. We don't want to play that either.
Well,
I think people are losing patience with MMOs.
Yeah,
I think that it's just like quest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 multiplied 20 times.
Yeah, but
and that's all you do for the whole game,
thing
and you
is-
never find an end.
in my opinion, the reason why I get disenchanted with MMOs is it feels like such a linear, straightforward experience that, in my opinion, why can't I play this by myself? Because there's no reason why I should be required to play this online. Champions Online, for example, we played the crap out of that.
Yeah.
I don't see why that has to be an MMO.
No, it really doesn't. It would be great if it was like a 4-player co-op experience.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
I think games like Borderlands, even Guild Wars 2, for example, like that's like you party up with people and you play instance.
Yeah.
I think
It
that
works.
that's a better function.
Yeah, it's a better
I think it's
formula.
Yeah, it's a better formula. I mean, Borderlands worked.
Yeah, it did.
Four-player co-op.
Borderlands 2 is going to work just as well.
But you know where that didn't work is Diablo 3.
Yeah.
We throw that example in again, where it's a game where you want to play with like 8 or 10 people. But
Yeah.
8 or 10 people, that's a good limit.
Yeah.
It's a good amount.
I feel like if a game could scale properly and you could party with as few or as many people as you want, that's a win.
Yeah, that really is.
And whoever makes like a game that combines like Borderlands, Diablo with an 8 to 10 player party limit
And like enough quests to keep you wanting to play, but not enough
and
to
a
be
good
like
storyline.
yeah, not enough to be like, okay, you need to go and sabotage 5
that's just
ammo
crazy
crates. And then report back and then get
Yeah.
the mission thing back. Like
Yeah, that was silly.
that's all you did.
I
And I really did like Champions Online though, to be
Yeah.
fair.
I think the real problem is that World of Warcraft, kind of snuck up on people, and just took over. And other companies saw that and like, wow, this game is really taking over. Let's make our own. It was the Call of Duty syndrome before Call of Duty came out. Where we got a ton of Call of Duty clone first-person shooters after that, and we got a ton of World of Warcraft clones. So I think the issue is not that people are tired of MMOs so much;
They're just sick
they're
of them.
just tired of World of Warcraft. That game has been around for over 10 years now, I think.
No, 6, I believe. No,
Oh,
not
yeah,
Is
6
it
or
really
7.
only 6?
6 or 7. Not well,
There's
2005.
no way.
I don't know.
Or 2000 maybe
Well,
2006,
Warcraft 3
actually.
was out when Diablo 2 was out. It was 2000.
So the point is,
But
World of
we're getting
Warcraft
Gil's point here.
has been out for a long time, and people have been playing it for a long time.
Since
So I
beta.
think people are just, I think aside from hardcore people who are always gonna, every game has just that hardcore set of people who are just gonna keep playing it no matter what. Most people are just tired of it. They want something new and they want something different, and companies aren't offering them that. Because everything out there is a World of Warcraft clone, because World of Warcraft has been so popular. Someone needs to come and do something different.
There have been some people that are trying to break away from that formula, but it's like you said, Gil, it's like World of Warcraft, but it's like with a few different gameplay tweaks, but the same style of linearity, I guess you want to call
I'm
it.
gonna go and agree with Gil that something new should happen, but I think everyone's trying to do something new. Also, we need to pull away from the WoW crowd, so we gotta do some of their stuff too, which is a terrible idea.
Well, I mean, here's an example of an MMO that tried to do something different. All Points Bulletin. Great concept on paper, horrible execution.
Horrible. A good example, I guess, of an MMO trying to do something different, I would say, is Guild Wars 2. I haven't played too much of it. I guess that'd be a good reason to have Chris back on a podcast to talk about that. But it's kind of like the next hype. I mean, a lot of people are kind of hyping about any MMO that comes out. Everyone's hyping about it.
Oh yeah.
And right
Well,
now,
Terra was hype. Well,
the
not
month,
too
brand of the
hype.
month
Fantasy
or
Star
of the summer is
Online.
Guild Wars 2, and I haven't played any of it, so I can't make for my honest opinion. But I've heard they're trying to break away from the standard MMO formula, which is a good thing.
Well, the way you break away from the standard MMO formula is you go with the new MMO formula, which is what seems to be working is free to play, microtransactions,
And that's how you make your money.
and that's where you make your bank.
You
Again,
sell people
I'm gonna
character
go
skins,
back
you
to
sell
this.
them upgrades, you sell them this special weapon that gives you like fire that shoots out of it or something.
Oh no,
like
I
a
would never
fire
sell
gun.
weapons in microtransactions.
Yeah, hold on. When you do microtransactions, you have to be careful, because if you start selling stuff, I mean, like you were saying, Kevin, then I'll borrow Trevor's favorite phrase lately is that's pay to win. Realistically, anything you buy in terms of microtransactions should probably be purely cosmetic. Like let's say you want your character to look different, so you buy this outfit, with real money.
I was about to go there, Gil, and I was gonna just reference again League of Legends, why I think they've been doing so popular or doing so well. They make all their money through cosmetic items. You buy skins. I mean, you can buy characters with
Yeah,
Riot.
you buy
Well,
characters to play
You can
with.
buy characters, you can buy
But
runes,
that's kind
you
of a
can
waste.
buy everything.
You could actually runes. I think you have to buy with IP. But you can buy boosts for IP with Riot points. But most people buy skins because they want their character to look cool, and that's why they keep shelling out a new skin almost every week. New champions every 2 weeks. They've always got something new coming. I don't want to start talking about the elite community, but that's probably their only problem right now with that game.
You know what I think would probably kill it, and I've heard people talk about this before. A Fallout MMO, that would just completely take over. Just take
Look at Elder
Fallout
Scrolls.
3, make it run a game on a server, and people just join in the server, and then that's the game.
Sounds like utter chaos.
Yeah, that
That-
sounds like a
that's it.
disaster.
It kind of sounds like what they're trying to do with Elder Scrolls Online now. They're trying to just take Skyrim, put it in a time period, but the same game, and put it online.
Which
But I
could
mean-
work if executed properly, but if it's like you're playing Fallout 3 and the implications of something that someone does, like it just won't work with that kind of gameplay, because it's a game where you make decisions and what you decide affects the game. It would only work instancing, or if they took that out completely. Because what if you what if somebody
Nuketown.
let's say Trevor comes into my game and he's a complete d-bag that he is, and shoots up all the quest NPCs, and I have nothing to do.
That would be
that
something
someone
I
would
would
do. That's something that, and then your server's boned, and you're like, oh, well, that's great. Now I gotta relog it or something.
But then you would get into the whole more like an MMO experience where all the NPCs just respawn after so much time.
Yeah, but then you're not. Then you're
then it's
pulling.
not that
You're out of the
experience.
experience of the game.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but that used to be a big problem. I remember early days of World of Warcraft. Actually, they would have NPCs that took forever to respawn. But that was before PvP really existed in that game. But yeah, I guess free to play is kind of the new thing. I want one last note. I guess I'm going to talk about League of Legends one more time.
Oh
We can
boy.
probably drop this. Probably drop the topic. It isn't a bad thing. Well, it can be. WoW kind of snuck up on people because it's like there's this MMO and stuff like that. It was just really fun to play. Everyone's playing it. It's kind of branched off of EverQuest. EverQuest 2 were kind of like the games of the time to be playing. But World of Warcraft made it big. If you look at the League type game, the MOBA game, there weren't many that existed. You had Dota, which was a mod for Warcraft 3 that was very, very popular. But League made it more popular. And then everyone's starting to be like, oh, wow.
League made it popular because it was free.
And then
too.
There was no cost of entry.
Yeah,
You
free-
could play Warcraft 3, which required you to buy a copy of Warcraft 3, or
I
you
know.
could play League of Legends, which was free. And that is the only sole reason why
Would you
it
pay
exists.
for a MOBA game? Like, would you pay for I don't know. Would you pay for Super Monday Night Combat?
I did the first time around.
No, Super Monday Night
Oh,
Combat.
Super?
You cut me
I
off
would
for
pay for
making
20.
my point, though. I'm saying League made MOBAs popular again, and now everyone's starting to come out with their own kind of MOBA.
Yeah, look
style
at how many
game.
MOBAs there are now.
yeah,
you got
because
we got
Smite,
Dota 2
you got
coming.
Super Monday Night Combat,
Exactly. Smite.
and that's
We got
two,
Dota 2,
Han,
Monday Night Combat,
3,
Smite,
North.
and then Blizzard actually has their own new MOBA game coming called Blizzard All Stars,
Dota
which is
2.
pretty horrible.
Something else.
Yeah, but the reason why League of Legends kicked that off, well, I don't even know if they really did. Were they the first free-to-play MOBA game?
I don't know
Probably.
when Heroes of New Worth came into play, but they have a decent sized community as well.
Yeah, but the reason why there's so many Me Too games, for lack of a better word, is there's a good, solid financial strategy behind these games.
Mhm.
And all it takes is one person to find the strategy, and boom, there you go. Now you got a LoL clone.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
that's
only-
gaming. That's everything.
I mean,
there's always copycats.
And that's what's happening right
And
now.
You know what's
That's
like
the
sometimes
latest
that's a good
trend.
thing.
Free to play is a trend right now, and MOBAs is a trend.
Oh yeah.
And when you combine those two trends, you
That's-
have a
it's all of
formula for
esports.
success.
All of esports is MOBA.
No, well,
Mostly.
Okay, so
you look at
That
the
or
shelf
StarCraft
down there.
too.
There's a reason why there's a particular title called StarCraft on there.
I mean, the real question
MOBAs
is,
and RTSs.
Yep.
is free to play ever going to fall out being a trend, and suddenly
We're
paid
talking about
games
Fallout Kill.
are going to be back? You know, I mean, because here's the thing, you get what you pay for. So when you get a free to play game, at least I always found that free to play games just weren't as fun. They weren't as good, and more importantly, they weren't as complete. But when you pay for a game, usually it's complete. I say usually because these days with DLC, sometimes companies like to fudge things a bit and not quite give you a complete experience, and then they sell you the rest of the experience later, which is silly and it's gonna kill things. But you know, I don't know. The only thing I think is, in MMO's defense, is that a nice thing about MMOs is even if they don't need to be an MMO, even if you could play, you should be able to play it single player. You get the same kind of feeling of scope and community that you do in an MMO. Because in an MMO, you see other players running around, and you can go up, you can talk to them, and you can make new friends. If you're playing Borderlands,
Gil, have you played online in the past like 2, 3, 5 years? 90%
Yes.
of the people online are complete douchebags.
that depends on what you're playing. If
Guilty.
you're playing Call of Duty or Halo, yes, they are.
If you're playing League of Legends, yes, they are. If you're playing
But on,
If you're playing
on-
any
on
competitive
MMOs,
game, there is the one tryhard out there that makes 4 other people hate their lives.
That's why. Here's the thing: most MMOs aren't competitive games. They have a competitive mode. You know, they usually sometimes they have PvP servers or just a PvP game mode you can play. But most MMOs aren't inherently player versus player. They aren't competitive. And in those games, people are actually they're usually willing to talk.
I kind of see what you're saying.
Nice guy.
MMOs have a less frequent number of douchebags on the game, but they are there, and especially if you try to get a party for even a simple dungeon or whatever instance, everyone pretty much in the instance is going to be a tryhard because you're facing
Everyone
tougher
thinks they're an
enemies.
expert.
Loot,
Exactly.
loot,
And if one
loot,
person's
gimme.
wiping the group, everyone's gonna get mad at that one person, and it's just natural. I guess you get online and you're a douchebag.
What I'm saying is, gamers need to lay off the coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
no.
Gil.
Can I
Need
rephrase
to
that?
lay off Red Bull and
Okay.
the coffee and the
And the monster.
Hey,
the
we're
Monster.
trying to get a Monster sponsorship here.
Yeah, some
you know.
people drink Monster. I'm not one of those people.
Maybe
I'm waiting for the Coke sponsorship.
Maybe drink some decaf.
Maybe drink water. If you guys know what that is, I don't know if you go
Water?
outside enough to know what water is.
Water?
That's not water, Gil.
This is water. This is water. This is a water
Is
bottle.
that a flask, Gil?
This is made for what? This is made because it doesn't have any of
This
the.
is-
I don't even know what it's called.
This is how
the
Gil gets through the
MS
podcast.
ML
Lots of
M
scotch.
something G's that plastic water bottles have. You don't get that water. It is.
I think we've beaten MMOs to a good pulp.
Can we talk about Minecraft now?
Yeah, let's talk about some Minecraft.
Because you brought up Minecraft, and then
All right, go
well, you
ahead,
brought
go
up
ahead,
MMOs,
Benny.
but
Let's
you
talk
brought
about World of
Minecraft.
Minecraft with Benny.
World of Minecraft betting. In case you live under a rock or you just don't play Minecraft anymore, 1.3 is a thing now. Officially launching on August 1st. Too bad about half of the community is actually playing Minecraft because about 95% of the servers aren't even on 1.3 yet. So,
That's the nature of the beast.
yeah, well, I blame several people for that. But still, 1.3 is probably a lot of people are going to complain because there's not so many great new features, but there's enough features there I guess people can get excited about.
There's a lot of neat stuff.
There's a lot of stuff, but I think everyone's looking for a big new feature, and instead we
I
just
think
got
the
like
land
boxes.
feature is pretty big.
I'm happy. Yeah, the giant biomes I like. It's good for single player stuff.
Tons of new
different kinds
blocks.
of wood stairs. The wood stairs, wood steps are great. Emerald ores and blocks and emeralds themselves is a nice feature. Tripwire was neat.
It's an
be a
interesting
cool
addition.
experiment. You can put levers on ceilings now. Now all we need to do is get torches on ceilings, and I'll be happy. Placing upside down blocks is now a lot easier. It's still a little bit different, but it's still a very handy feature.
You know what 1.3 could use? Redstone on the walls.
Yes and no. I forget why it doesn't work, but I do remember reading about that. I mean, that was something that would take a really long time to get to work.
The long
And I'm
and short
sure-
of it, deal with it.
Yeah, and it would probably break a lot of people's redstone contraptions if they go and do that now.
Definitely. All of my redstone
I
contraptions
think
would be
that's another
screwed.
reason why they can't do it. Is it would mess with like circuitry and stuff like that people set up.
Oh, please. People will figure it out.
It would be a lot harder just because just the way redstone connects and stuff like that.
It'd be fine.
No.
And that's
But,
1.3
keep
in a
going, keep
nutshell.
going.
I don't know if they really changed redstone on this. Wait,
Change the way gravel looks.
like that. It now looks good. It doesn't look like absolute garbage anymore.
Well,
And
it used to kind of look like a random jumble of pixels.
yeah, and now it looks more like it belongs there. It blends with the stone better too. As before, it just blended with nothing. And yeah, ender chests are a new thing, which are great for multiplayer servers because they're dependent on the person and not the box itself.
It's like a pocket universe. It's amazing.
Kevin, anything you want to add?
It's like chests within chests. You could put an ender chest in an ender chest, break the ender chest and look at another ender chest, and you have your ender chest in said ender chest.
That's pretty awesome.
Yo, dog. I heard you like guests.
Oh, don't go there.
All right.
Oh, sideways logs. That too. That's
Sideways logs, because that is super important.
Oh no, it's really important. I've been using that.
All right, let's. All right. And what have you been working on in Heidelcraft that needs sideways logs? Actually,
Fallen trees.
everything.
We have a new bridge that we put in that use sideways logs.
Nice.
It's a big bridge.
It's a big.
Not really, but it's cool.
But yeah,
It's
all
just
the
a
new
bridge.
stairs. We finally have sandstone stairs.
That I've been waiting for
Yes.
that
Oh,
for
thank God.
so long. So
Dude, that
long.
whole freaking city that we built in the sky. Remember?
Whatever. Oh my God! Whatever happened to that?
I don't know. I think
Benny's got it somewhere.
it's somewhere. Actually, it probably isn't.
It might have been deleted.
I
I
don't
spent
know what you're
like a
talking
week
about,
on that
but
thing.
I have to
We're probably gonna go back, and if we find it, and it's gonna look like some mangled piece of garbage.
It'll be a broken
Oh,
JPEG.
Yeah,
talking about now, so I'm gonna have to try and find it.
we'll find it.
It's a big floating city. It's impossible to miss.
I don't know where it is though. Like, is it on the server or is it one of my?
It's,
It was
It-
on the,
it's on the
first
main-
version of Mythos. Wait, are we talking about the?
the first version. Oh yeah, that's
Are
gone.
we talking about Queens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, that's gone.
I built a couple floating cities in my day. I'm sorry if I get confused.
All right.
an architect of
Let's
sorts.
talk about Ouya
Ouya.
again. It's been like a weekly hot topic.
yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
That could be their slogan.
Or like, yeah.
They could get the
It's
Kool-Aid Man in
it's
on
the
it.
console that breaks through the wall.
Oh yeah. Breaks through the border of your.
But we've got some new
It's got new color
new
scheme.
things, new color scheme on the controllers
You
here.
could have it in any color you want,
as
long as it's black. And you could also have it in apple white.
So
The buttons.
buttons.
Spell
Ouya. I almost said
You tried.
I almost said Oyua. It's weird that it goes around that way, but I was expecting to go this way, or like go this way and then that way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I'm not sure I like the buttons.
They're cool. It follows an
Man,
Xbox
Is
360
there,
controller.
Is there a patent? Is there a patent on the ABXY?
Almost positive there is.
Probably.
Well, hold on, because Microsoft is using ABXY,
Yeah.
and Nintendo is using ABXY. And Nintendo was the first to use ABXY, I think.
The thing is, though,
I don't know, Gil.
I'm looking at some controllers here just to see where they're drawing their inspiration
Microsoft,
from.
the Microsoft ones are backwards. Like the AB and XY are in opposite directions.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still the same letters, though. I mean, I don't see why there'd be a problem with the button labels. This is stupid.
From the, I mean,
one
from
I'm-
what it seems, it's like they're just doing it to be different. Oh man,
Oh my
I
god, we
got
got
the
my
64 controller now.
This thing was the stupidest design ever. Like, only people with 3 hands could use all the buttons.
I actually played a couple games that used the left
You could actually,
handle.
you could reach over like
I
that.
actually just had
It's a
a
little
third
awkward.
hand
It's a big
grafted onto my
controller.
body. I played N64. That worked pretty well.
But most games never use that. It used either one or the
You
other.
use the D-pad or you use the control stick.
If it was wrestling, it was the D-pad. If it was Mario or a platformer or
Kirby
anything
64.
else.
Kirby 64, you use the D-pad.
D-pad? No, another game that used to.
All right, we're gonna stop talking about that because we're gonna get back to the story here, which is
Special edition.
special edition. So you can earn it by donating a whopping $140.
But
Jeez.
when you look at it, it's going to cost you $100
Yeah,
You
to
know,
buy it.
yeah. I mean, that's
Add $40 in, you
Yeah.
get it in black, and you get special bells and whistles.
yeah. I don't think it's worth it.
You gonna buy one?
I don't know.
Let's go. Let's get the poll around. Trevor's a maybe.
I'm on the fence.
Trevor's a maybe. Gil, are you gonna ooh-yah?
No.
Benny, ooh-yah.
because no, no, because I have to save my money for a Wii U.
All right, guys, I'm gonna buy 4. And you know what? I'm gonna wait in line all night, buy 4, and then we're gonna give one away for a contest because they're not going to be able to sell. Who am
hold
I?
on. Kevin?
Everybody?
George.
Yes.
Hey, we did give away that 3DS though.
Yes, we did.
So we do.
We do stuff.
But another big story that broke is the online support coming from Wii U.
For Wii U?
For
Ouya.
the online support for Ouya. Sorry.
Yes.
Jeez. Don't want to confuse everybody.
So this just
For Wii U.
cemented in my mind that the Ouya is going to fail.
Oh no.
Because online, I don't know anyone who say online is a success. Online is a complete failure, at least from what I can tell, from what I've seen anyway. Online is a complete failure, and it's like trying to tack it onto the Ouya as like, oh yeah, this is going to be a great feature. No, it's not. It's going to be a completely unused feature that I see getting removed, or people are going to look at it as
Cast into obscurity.
what's the Ouya? Oh, it's another online box. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but
So-
that's in my opinion. I think that it's good that they're adding that in. I think it's good that they're creating yet another reason why you might want to consider Ouya. I mean, you're buying it for the Ouya exclusive games, but then you're getting as a bonus online support.
And it's the same price. It's not like they upped the price. Give me more things.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as they're not bad things.
OnLive, they're changing their business model because they're realizing what they're doing now isn't working. They have nothing working in their favor to get their games in more people's houses. They're teaming up with Vizio, they're teaming up with Ouya, and they're trying to get the service into as many houses as possible.
And with the Ouya, that's
It's a
really
Netflix
possible
concept.
because it's like, who doesn't want to buy a game console for $100?
Well, the
You
question is, who is going to buy a game console for $100? Is it going to be one of those systems that gets thrown into obscurity in J.C. or is it going to be something that's
It's JCPenney. It's
They
like the
sell
Radio
knockoffs.
Shack.
they sell the knockoff
The Radio
consoles.
Shack like Pong game, or like the Radio Shack console with like 6 games on it.
Oh,
Yeah, I miss those days.
I don't.
You could buy a Radio Shack game console. You could buy like I don't think Best Buy was around. Intellivision. Imagine. There's like 20 game
Fixator
consoles.
says it's not on live, it's on lag.
See, exactly. Online is going to kill the Ouya.
I don't
I
think
think the
so.
Ouya got killed the online because everyone's gonna see. Well, this is.
It's not
garbage.
like they're saying like, oh, you can buy Ouya, but you have to buy a subscription to OnLive, and it's going to cost you $50 a month.
Yeah. And that's a good
Well, I
that's
mean,
a
the
good thing.
real
Yeah, no, why should it? Like,
the real problem will be when say when the Ouya in a store, and
JCPenney?
customer who doesn't know anything about games comes up to a store rep and asks, "Hey, I see this Ouya thing. It's it's $100. That's cheaper than the Xbox Infinity and the PlayStation 4 and the Wii U. What's this got? What's this all about? It's cheaper than the other consoles." And then like, what? And the guy's gonna be like, "Well, I know it's got OnLive. It's a service that streams games from all the other consoles to your TV." And they're like, "Oh, okay, that sounds interesting. Does that work? Does that work really well?" Not really. Oh, does it do anything else?
Or he's gonna lie and say, yeah, look, it works great.
Well, I
Well, here's
mean,
the thing.
we
Even if they
reported
lie-
on
even if they
It's
lie,
retail,
say, yeah, and
Gil.
they lie, and then they
This
go
is
home and
retail.
they play online, and it's-
Gil. We reported weeks ago about NVIDIA launching a new server-based Kepler architecture that is going to enable services like OnLive to become actually more responsive than a traditional console.
Yeah,
suck it, Gil.
Did I
Suck
just
it.
blow your mind?
See, I don't see how an online service through Comcast is going to be more responsive than a console.
Oh, we're
that's hooked
talking about
direct
using a
to
real
my-
ISP, Gil.
It's the only ISP that's here that I can use.
Call your
I
congressman.
feel your pain, Gil. I feel your pain.
I mean,
I should mention,
well,
tonight's
I mean, that's-
podcast's failures have been powered by Comcast tonight.
Yes,
not
they have.
Cablevision.
Powered by Comcast.
Come on. And a lot of people are in that same situation. They can't get Google Fiber or Verizon FiOS, well, obviously not Google Fiber. That's only in like one place now. But they can't get FiOS or anything. They're stuck with whatever crappy internet service they have there. And the fact of the matter is, it's no matter what the server architecture, that's not going to be faster than a box hooked directly into your TV.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give it 2 years. We'll have the Ouya 2 by then.
Yeah. All right.
It'll be called the Tuya.
The Tuya.
Oh my god, I could see it now. Two
right.
separate consoles.
Gil, you seem to be the Final Fantasy expert in the group here. So you want to talk about the new piece of Final Fantasy 13 news? Because I'm lost already, and I don't even play the. We haven't even played the games yet, and just the titles and the names of the games are confusing.
Basically, Final Fantasy 13, was an average game, right? It wasn't the greatest game ever, but it was all right. Some people hate it, some people love it, some people say that wasn't. I'm just gonna go in the middle and say it was okay. And Square decided that it was good enough to make a sequel. So we had Final Fantasy X-2. They've done it before, so now they're doing it. They did it again. They had Final Fantasy 13-2, and what they've done in Final Fantasy 13-2 is start what they're calling the Lightning Saga. And so they're going to next month. They're going to announce a new game in the Lightning Saga. So it could be probably Final Fantasy 13-3.
Oh boy!
Wow.
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy 13 Versus?
Huh?
No.
Or 13 Versus? I don't even know anymore.
Probably not.
And
No,
yeah.
definitely.
Why so much emphasis on 13? It's a
what we're
very
getting.
unlucky number.
Final Fantasy. I don't think that's necessarily the title, but probably along the lines of Final Fantasy 13-3 or maybe Final Fantasy 13 Lightning. Maybe Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Saga.
Lightning Thief.
And then Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Thief. Yeah. I think that would be Final Fantasy 13 2. Would be the Lightning Thief.
I don't know what this whole thing about lightning is, but
Lightning is a character in Final Fantasy 13. She is basically Lightning is the female version of Cloud, and I'm not even joking when I say that. Square Enix has specifically said they wanted to create a female version of Cloud, and that's Lightning.
the original.
Yeah. There you go. Final Fantasy 13-3 or something, and that's going to be announced next month, and we'll find out more about that.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on and talk about Steam on Linux and how OpenGL just kicked Direct3D's ass.
No way.
Impressively, that's what the numbers are saying, at least according to our own report that came from the Steam Linux blog. It's pretty impressive when you look at the numbers. Did you catch any of the numbers?
I did not catch
It's
the numbers.
they started off at 6 frames per second, which I thought was it's kind of dismal. But they've taken that number, and I believe that's like 324 frames per second.
That's a lot of frames.
And that's on the same reference machine it's the same reference machine. They have Linux, 32-bit Linux, and 64-bit Windows. And now it's outperforming it by I believe 12 frames. So look at the numbers.
Wow. So does this mean we're going to see a Linux section on Steam very soon?
Oh yeah, well, they've already committed to it.
Oh.
So.
I'm looking forward to this. If gaming starts shifting from Windows to Linux, that will be amazing.
If it switches to Mac, that would be even more amazing.
Here's the thing. I don't expect gaming to shift, PC gaming to mainly shift to Mac development. I don't know why. I just simply don't expect that. Linux, though, I could see, especially for the hardcore PC gaming crowd. I can definitely see them. I can definitely see them shifting to Linux for gaming if it becomes the better than Windows. If it becomes fat, if you can get more out of your machine running Linux than you can in gaming than you can with Windows, and I definitely see that happening. And that would actually be pretty sweet. See more development on other platforms or other operating systems, I should say.
All right, so the hardware they're using, just so we're on the same page here, they're using a Core i7-3930K, which is an unlocked processor. They're not even telling us if it's overclocked or anything. We're just going to assume stock.
Yeah.
Which is really not safe to assume stock when they're throwing a GTX 680 and 32 gigabytes of RAM. Holy tits.
Yeah, why couldn't they test it on, like, normal specs?
Something that...
Not like steroid specs.
Yeah. But
yeah,
that's a high-end configuration. They
that's
say
a very expensive computer.
That's like
expensive.
All right,
that's like my parents a lot of money configuration.
All right, so they're running Windows 7 Service Pack 1 64-bit and Ubuntu 12.04 32-bit. So they say they are going to run the same thing on 64-bit, and they believe they'll be getting the same results. But I think this is probably more of a move to say, hey, Microsoft,
step up.
Direct3D is starting to show.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, if you have those crazy specs on a Windows PC, still, it's not going to be like, oh, this is crap. It's going to be a very good experience. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going from 315 frames per second to 270 in Windows. So either way, you're running the game at a decent clip.
Yeah, really. Which is, that's more than anyone ever needs in a computer today.
Yeah. They're citing that there's additional overhead in Direct3D that's only seen on Windows. OpenGL and Linux and the Linux kernel is so
malleable?
Not malleable, but it's so clean and optimized. That's the word. It's so optimized.
It's not bloated, is what you're trying to say.
That there's less time for all the operations to happen, and therefore they're able to pull off these wicked frame rates.
Yeah, well, and that's where Microsoft for years has had a lot of legacy code in Windows to make it compatible with everything from previous versions with Windows, and which is the opposite from Apple's stance. Everyone who, whenever they feel like, they could do it with the next version of the OS and say, yeah, we're going to come out with OS 11, and oh yeah, all that OS 10 stuff you have, that's not going to work anymore. It's got to be all new stuff now. I could do that at any point and not care. Microsoft just won't do that, and they're stuck with all this legacy code, and that causes problems, because it gets really complicated. And Linux, it's not the same to Apple. They're just going to be like, yeah, screw you guys, we're just going to change everything. But it's just, they keep things simpler. They're trying, at least, I don't know too much about the Linux development community, but,
All right.
My experience, it's cleaner.
All right, to wrap this up, and this is before they even talk with NVIDIA and ATI to get them to write a real Linux driver. Gil, you've experimented with Linux, right?
Yeah, I've got Ubuntu on my machine. All
right. Gil, how are the video drivers?
Exactly. Thanks, Gil.
Thanks for proving my point, and now we move on. Yeah, do you want to take this one? I think I'm going to laugh if I deliver the headline in this one.
Mad Cats. More specifically, Mad Cats making Wii U accessories.
Nobody's surprised.
Wii U controller pad grips? I think so, for the tablet. Man, I had those for my Game Boy Color. Those things were the bomb. I don't think they were made by Mad Cats. They were made by Pelican. What is that?
That's a charging station.
Come on. Probably like melts into the system.
I actually just tossed out some charging stations that one of them actually burned. So I hope nobody picks them out of the garbage there.
Gil has a prop.
Okay,
Gil
so
has
the
a
only third-party accessory I got for my Wii was were these Nyko rechargeable batteries, and that was because I didn't want to have to keep burning through AA's playing on Wii games. So I got their rechargeable batteries. I don't buy third-party controllers because they don't tend to work as well, and any Mad Catz thing I've ever bought has never worked very well.
Button.
And when it does work, it's not for long.
I have a Mad Catz controller down here somewhere, and I've said this before, like our staff chats, but that was the controller that got me to the top of the burnout ladders.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't even use the turbo function. This is like back when I was like 11 or 12.
So you didn't really care that much about it. You were like, oh my god, it's a see-through controller.
Well, it was pretty damn cool, and it was smaller, so I was able to move the sticks faster. So I was able to pull those drifts off like crazy.
I don't think I ever really bought into that stuff. I had the Game Boy accessories. That was it. Game Boy Color.
I just never found. I just in general don't find third-party gaming accessories to usually work all that well. I usually just stick with the stock, official controllers and stuff, because the third-party accessories don't really do much for you. Yeah, they just don't really work that well. The production quality is usually cheaper, which is why they cost less. And I find you're better off paying full price, getting the real thing, and sticking with that. Yeah, boo, Mad Catz, boo.
The only thing I would ever maybe get from third party is maybe some kind of cable, like maybe audio video cables. But that's just for if I need to plug in my Super Nintendo, and I can't find anything else.
I had issues with those though for a Nintendo.
Did you?
Nintendo power supply thing for the OG NES, because all the other ones were like $25 or something like that online, the real ones. So I bought this crap other one, and it shipped, and it was like the screws were off from it. It was like hanging out. There were like wires and everything, and I plugged it in once. I don't even know why I plugged it in, and it worked for like one game, and then it just nuked itself, and I threw it out. I had to get it to work. I had to take tape. I took painter's tape, and I taped up the power supply.
I saw that.
That was horrible. You
That's
could
a
shake
bad
it,
idea.
and you could hear the parts rumbling around in it. The cord would come in and out. It was bad.
Wow.
was real bad.
It's funny you mentioned power supplies. I was looking the other day for a power supply for the Super Nintendo. They have an old Super Nintendo
Buy
that
a legit
I loaned
one.
to a friend, and they give it back, and he's like, "Oh, did you have a power cable for this?" I was like, "Yeah." "Oh, I don't have that." I was like, "Great." So I needed a new power supply for my Super Nintendo, and I was looking online, and it's like none of them had all these third-party power supplies. All the reviews, most reviews are bad.
Yeah, because what they try to do is they make one. This is what this one did. It had a cord or a plug that worked with the Super Nintendo, and it worked with the NES. And it's like, do you really need that? It makes it work less. They just want to give you more crap so that it goes like it could appeal to more audiences. If you could have a power brick that works for your Xbox 360, the Wii, the PlayStation,
We don't even need
the
a break
television,
for
the
the PS3.
Atari 2600, like 6 other game consoles.
See, that's why I like the PS3 and the fatty PS2. Internal power supplies.
And
Yeah,
64.
I mean, so
It's in the
Not an
back.
external. It's an external power supply.
But it's
actually the same
Nope,
case.
it's an
with-
external power
That's
supply.
what I was
Whatever,
looking at.
You know what I mean?
Kevin.
It works.
This thing is supposed to work for the Genesis and the SNES. The problem is the SNES power supply requirements. It's like, I don't remember, so don't quote me on this exactly, but I'm going to
voltage
say
is
it's
off,
it's like 10 watts,
Yeah.
right? And this power supply is 9 watts. So it's just not supplying enough power. So apparently people are getting like these weird lines when they're playing their games. And it's like, well, I don't want that, you know. And you can't find. I could not find a proper power supply for the SNES.
Good luck finding a replacement for the N64. No way you're gonna ever find a good one that isn't gonna melt your N64 in some
I wasn't
way
even
or
talking
form.
about power supplies when you guys went there. I was talking about like regular audio video cables.
Yeah.
Oh
This
yeah.
conversation is completely derailed. Let's answer.
But those had good success with.
Question from
I have
someone.
not.
Let's you know what, let's
You haven't?
You know what, guys? I'm just gonna meet you guys, and when you guys decide you want to come back to the podcast, you can let me know. All right, so just gameplay HD's asked in chat, Kevin, if you could bring this up, I would like to know what is everyone's opinion on why cross-platform gaming hasn't come about?
It's
I
unfair.
think it's a good discussion topic.
Why cross-platform gaming hasn't come about? Arguably, it's a little bit around for the PS3 and Steam, but not really.
No, not at all, actually.
For
That
like
feature
one
got
games that-
axed.
Yeah?
Yep.
You could, but you can still sign in to Steam with your PS3
With one game.
account.
With one game.
But that's the closest they've been.
well,
so that's
actually,
something.
no. The closest we've been was Shadowrun on the Xbox 360.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, you can play with Windows Vista users,
Um,
and you could play against each other.
You know what? I'm gonna take these off because I don't really need to hear them.
Yeah.
Why hasn't it worked though? I mean, try playing a Nintendo game and a Xbox 360 game. Like, you have two. Like, let's use the whole Wii and Xbox 360 example. You're trying to play, I don't know, Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Well, that's
for argument's
you know,
sake. They're two completely different games. They don't work.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Well,
hold on.
how about this?
We could throw the whole.
How about
Well, hold-
let's use something that's a little bit more tangible. That's something
Call
that
of Duty.
could happen. Call of Duty, PS3 and Xbox 360. Pretty similar here in terms of controller. Obviously, flip a thumbstick and change the sensitivity of certain things, and you have essentially the same experience on both systems. But why don't they connect to each other? And the reason? Services tied into them. Sony, you got to be tied into PlayStation Network. Microsoft, you have to be tied into Xbox Live.
Which makes sense.
Those
It's like-
services will not communicate with each other.
It's like trying to get a Mario game on the Xbox.
well,
you can't.
It's tied
That's
up
just
in
the way it
licensing,
is.
and that's why you're never going to see it.
And this is why you see DLC come out on the Xbox 360 first.
Yeah, because
Licensing.
well, no, it's not licensing; it's
It's
exclusive
agreements.
deals.
Yeah, licensing. See, you know what I mean.
It's an agreement with some lawyers and some money,
Yeah,
maybe a hooker.
maybe one or two. You just dropped your remote.
It's the PS3 remote. I don't really care about it. I don't think the PS3's been turned on in a while.
And that's why it doesn't work together. And the whole mess of internet online connections.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to connect through Xbox Live. You have to have a Xbox Live.
that
connect
was
to
my-
the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, and that was my
just
point.
It just won't work. So that
Um,
answers
Well,
the question.
fixators, PC versus PlayStation and/or PC versus Xbox. We like I said, we've seen it with one game, and it didn't really work because the PC players had such an advantage over the console players.
And you want to talk, and this is the big thing too, patch updates.
Oh God,
Do you know how long it takes to patch the PS3 over the PC?
it's probably in the realm of weeks.
I'd say that's a good guess. To be honest, I really don't know, but you have to say, like, obviously the PC version is going to work a little bit better in terms of patching than the PlayStation one.
I mean, also
Lots of
too,
bugs, lots of issues.
The first true cross-platform game was Shadowrun, that pitted console players against PC players, and it made PC gameplay suck. Do you know why? Because they put balancing measures in play to make sure that the PC players were on a level playing field. All that reticle bloom from sliding your mouse over to target,
ruined it.
it made it impossible.
And also one thing too
Oh,
is
not
how
impossible, but significantly more
Yeah.
difficult.
Mods and exploits and
Oh,
everything else way easier on the PC. Infinitely easier.
Yeah.
Consoles lock everything down. PCs still lock things down.
Well, I mean, you could.
to some extent, the games are
You-
locked down.
I mean, with modern DRM, which I think we're going to talk in depth because I've got a huge article. I've got an article going up about DRM that'll be going up by next podcast. But we're going to talk in depth about DRM, but the modern DRM structures are going to allow the game to actively check each file inside to make sure they're playing by the rules.
And that's why it won't work.
Well, I mean, that's an argument towards why it would work.
Oh no, I'm saying we're wrapping this up.
Oh,
Unless you have something else to add.
well, I think that's it.
And the peanut gallery? Silence. Good.
Good.
Well, we didn't know if we could talk yet.
Oh no, you're free to chip in whenever. I just wanted to get moving on to the next topic.
Oh, me too, but Gil just kept going and going.
He's like the Energizer Bunny. Except he doesn't
I don't know.
smile
I'm
as
not
much.
sure if Frozen or he's just moving really, really slow.
I didn't say anything. I haven't done anything at all. I don't even know what you're talking about.
But yeah, that was gonna be my. I want to chip in this before we continue. I'm saying primary reason why cross-platform won't work is the advantage PC people have.
And that's it.
I mean, even between the PS3 and Xbox 360, and I'll say we'll toss the Wii U in there as well because that's coming out soon. You know, for a game like Call of Duty, it's just the game companies don't want it. I mean, you know, I'm sure Activision
It's another
would
hoo-hoo.
love it, but you know, Microsoft and Nintendo and Sony, they don't want to talk to each other.
And what reason do they want to talk to each other? I mean, Microsoft's making $60 a year, or supposedly $60 a year, off of every Xbox Live subscriber, while Sony is letting everybody get a free ride. Why is Microsoft going to let a developer publish on their system with a cross-platform game that allows players to play with play against players who are playing the same game on a free service? People are just going to buy the other system version.
Well, hold on. Not necessarily, because Xbox Live is a better service than PSN.
Well,
so
let's say,
let's say
how
all
about
things
this?
are
Xbox
equal.
How
Live
about this?
players an advantage against PSN players.
Kevin, hand me any multiplayer game on the shelf up there.
Skyward Sword it is.
Screw you, Kevin. You know what? Hand me
give you Halo?
Yeah, hand me Halo. Actually, hang on. I think I have Call of Duty for Xbox and PlayStation on there.
Too bad you're getting Halo.
All right, we're getting.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Black Ops there. Yeah, hand me Black Ops.
I
can do
the
this
reason
visual
they
demonstration.
would want to talk is to make
PlayStation
the
Alright.
customers happy, to make the players happy. You know, finally, two players, like two hardcore Call of Duty fans from the PlayStation camp and the 360 camp, can go head to head, each on a preferred platform, and settle their dispute of which one of them is better.
All
you
right,
know?
so let's put it this way. Say I purchased Black Ops on Xbox 360. Let's just pretend these games can play cross-platform. And on the shelf, I see the Xbox 360 version, and Kevin's got the PS3 version in his hand. Now, I have both systems, or I'm thinking about picking up one of these systems today. You know, let's play that game. I'm going to pick up one of
You're
these
the
systems
buyer,
today.
and you want to buy an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3, and it comes with this game,
Yeah.
right?
So, am I going to buy it for the PlayStation 3 knowing that I'm going to get the same online gameplay for free, or am I going to pay for the Xbox 360 and an Xbox Live subscription to play the same game with the same features? Like, it's a no-brainer. If they're cross-platform, you're going to go with the free platform.
PS free.
Unless, you know, because a lot of people claim Xbox Live is a better service than PSN.
But
It is!
works
But
better.
let's say it's
It
not in
runs
this
better.
example.
It is,
So
but
you'll have
Gil,
advantage
But
over
it's
people
free,
playing
Gil.
the
Gil,
PS
if you're
free.
playing a cross-platform game, all benefits and
It has to
advantages
be
are
equal.
negated.
In the instance where Call of Duty Black Ops is, in an ideal world, perfectly
That's-
equal
no, it's-
between
they're not.
every platform. But let's say it is.
They're
But
because
it's
you still have to
cross-platform,
go
Gil.
through
It's gotta be
Xbox
equal.
Gil,
Otherwise,
Live.
it's not
you know what,
fair.
Gil?
Get to the
After the
server.
podcast, I'm going to boot up Black Ops on my PS3 and my Xbox. I'm going to put them split screen, and I'm gonna crop out any of the control options, and I'm going to ask you to tell me which one is the PlayStation 3 version and which one is the Xbox version. I can almost
Xbox
guarantee you will not be able to tell the difference.
You won't be able to hear
It's
anybody's
not, it's
microphones.
not
in the
about being
PS3
able to
version.
see a difference between the
Or
two games.
feel a
It's
difference
about
between the
the
games.
quality of the connection to said games, and you have to go through Xbox Live or PSN to get to the game service, to play the game online. And if the Xbox Live connection is better than the PSN connection, the Xbox Live people are gonna have an advantage. It's like
But Gil,
it's not
Gil,
exactly like this.
Gil.
But it's kind of like comparing 56K to cable internet. The guy playing cable internet is going to have a huge advantage
Yes,
over the
but Gil,
56K player.
Gil, the difference is not in the internet connection. If I have my PS3 and my Xbox hooked up to the same internet connection, my connection is going to be the same regardless.
It's the speed of the service.
Yes,
'Cause
but
you
Call
still
of
have-
Duty's
'cause everything's
peer-to-peer.
going through Xbox Live. That's what I'm saying.
Gil, Call of Duty's peer-to-peer, not through a server.
Well, if it was multi-platform, they'd have to do through a server.
All right. Well, we're going to argue
Which
this
costs
out
money.
at some other time, but I don't think it'll work because Microsoft and Sony would not allow publishers to publish if they were releasing a cross-platform game that encouraged players to look at the other platform. And that's my argument. All right, let's wrap up because we've been podcasting for about an hour or so.
And a half.
Hour and a half. Gil, where can people find you online?
They can find me at twitter.com/Mr. Puck. I'll spell that, or on YouTube at Mr. Puck85.
Benny,
Right,
what
my
are you
turn?
what are you doing now?
I'm Han Solo, and you can find me in space. You can find me on Twitter at KnifePhoenix16. Email me at benneg@gengame.net, or you can visit our Minecraft server at sc.gengame.net.
Yes, visit the Minecraft server. We're paying for it. mc.gengame.net. Again, mc.gengame.net. Once more, mc.gengame.net.
Gengame.net.
Kevin,
I'm sorry, what was that again?
mc.gengame.net.
Okay, thank you.
877 cash now, mofo.
You can find me on Twitter at Shabazzle. You could also find me on the Minecraft server, and you could look at the articles that I write on gengame.net.
Because he's a pro like that.
That's right. Biggest,
Boss.
greatest articles.
Boss.
Yeah.
All
Join the
all
fun
by
on
me.
gengame.net, where the podcast sometimes graces the homepage, when we're proud of it. But leave a comment on the post when it goes up. Follow us on iTunes, Blip TV. You can really follow us on Podbean if you
Facebook,
really want
Twitter,
to. Facebook,
Google+.
Twitter, Google+.
Google Plus.
Google Plus!
Google.
I'm gonna edit that in. But that is the show. I'm Trevor Mignani at the Mags on Twitter. You can follow GenGame on Twitter at GenGame. GenGameNet on YouTube. Facebook.com/GenGame. Is that it? Is that everything?
There's more.
Okay.
There's more, but
Oh, wait, there's more.
but wait, there's even more. You can get the full show notes at GenGame.net. But that's it.
That's it.
I think we made it.
That's all she wrote.
That's all. That's
And
all,
I would like to say,
Actually, that's all we wrote because we are at the end of the rundown.
it's been a fun 2 years.
Yes.
We've had a lot of fun with this, and thank you to everybody who's watching, who's been watching, and who enjoys the show.
Yes, and we look forward to bringing you yet another year of awesome game podcasts. We want to get you more involved. Just comment in the chat. That's why we do it live. All right, that's it. Have a good night, everybody. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. I shot first.